Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode 14 of season 14. That is the 14th book in the New Testament. We're walking our way through the New Testament in a series. We're in Be With Me. This is Philippians. This is chapter 3. Read with me Philippians chapter 3, verse 1. Today is going to be titled Things That Count, and we're going to look for a spiritual accounting. Finally, my brothers, rejoice in the Lord. To write the same things to you is no trouble to me and is safe for you. Look out for the dogs. Look out for the evildoers. Look out for those who mutilate the flesh. For we are the circumcision who worship by the Spirit of God and glory in Christ Jesus and put no confidence in the flesh, though I myself have reason for confidence in the flesh also. If anyone thinks he has reason for confidence in the flesh, I have more, circumcised on the 8th day, of the people of Israel, of the tribe of Benjamin, a Hebrew of Hebrews, as to the law, a Pharisee, as to zeal, a persecutor of the church, as to righteousness under the law, blameless. But whatever gain I had, I counted as loss for the sake of Christ. So here's what I want to go with this, is Paul is counting up things that he thought were positive, but actually were negatives, counted as loss. And so we're going to ask the question here globally, using Philippians as a reference. What are the things that count? Like, what spiritual accounting can I do? He starts with rejoicing. It's a big theme. He says, finally, my brothers, he goes on for 2 more chapters, so we're not anywhere near the end. And he addresses joy first of all. Now, Philippians is definitely a book about joy. Pray with joy. Progress with joy. Complete my joy. How? Well, by having the same mind. So this is the other big theme of Philippians, is being like-minded, one mind. Set your minds the same. He charges the Philippians to receive Epaphroditus with joy, and rejoice that Christ is proclaimed. And if I'm even being poured out with joy. And his charge to them is that they should also be of joy. They should rejoice. So this joy again theme is a big theme of his. Then he starts a warning. Watch out for the dogs. He goes right to the insults, if you will. Watch out for those who mutilate the flesh. Now he's talking about circumcision. And think about this, for thousands of years, for the Jewish people, circumcision has been a marker, a positive marker. It's a marker of the people of God. And now he's calling it with a new spirit, with a new knowledge that we have about the indwelling spirit and what makes a person, in other words, what counts, is he's calling it a mutilation. So one of the things that doesn't count anymore is mutilating the flesh. Is circumcision. Hey, remember, we're the circumcision. We're the circumcision of the hearts. And have you forgotten who you are? We're the guys that worship by the Spirit. We're the ones that glory in Christ. We're the ones that have no confidence in the flesh. Oh, wait, you want to talk about confidence in the flesh? You want to talk about credentials? I was circumcised on the 8th day, people of Israel, tribe of Benjamin, Hebrew of Hebrews, a Pharisee of the law, zeal in persecution, blameless as far as the law. He says, these are all my positive, quote unquote, positive credentials. If you add up all these 7 different things, you're supposed to come up with some sort of an earthly Jewish righteousness. And then he says, well, wait a minute. These are all negative integers. In the spiritual counting, I now count these things. What I thought were gain, I count them as loss now. You have to understand this passage is Paul is trying to move the Philippians and progress them in their faith. 125. I want you to know that I will remain and continue with you all for your progress and joy in the faith. He wants these guys to grow. So how do you progress in the faith? How do you grow? How do you go further? How do you advance? Is it by circumcision and Jewishness and pride in the flesh? Or in our modern day church, would it be the size of your church? Let's count noses. Or, hey, we don't dance in our church. You count restrictions. Or time spent in the pew. I've been a member of this church for 30 years. Oh, really? We're counting time spent now? Or how about I gave all this money at church? Well, oh wait, now we're counting, contributions that God has given you, or are we counting humility of heart? Are we counting worship by the Spirit? Are we counting making much of the glory of Christ? How about if we count being of the same mind, of this low thinking, of this humility that the Lord calls us to? All these so-called positive integers that I thought before, they're actually negative integers. And it's a whole new math here. So I want to progress in joy by setting our minds in a certain way. Let's all be of the same minds. So we kind of turn back to chapter 2. Let's forget rivalry. Let's forget conceit. Let's move away from those. But let's have the same love. Let's have full accord with one another. Let's have the same mind. Let's have that mind be in humility. Let's look to the interests of others, and let's have the mind of Christ. So this is Paul's reset of spiritual accounting. It's his new math. He's counting things differently. And he's saying, have the same mind as others. Have the mind for others. And have the mind of another. That is, have the mind of Christ. These are the things that count in the spiritual world, is unity with people, service for people, and in rethinking our thinking and trying to have the mind of Christ. These are the things that count in the spiritual world. Thanks for listening.